Most sprinters never fail because of talent. They fail because they catch what I call the sprinting plague. It's this plague of chasing every new drill, every new exercise, and every new hack while ignoring the basics. And here's the truth. If you don't have mission clarity, if you don't have a race plan, and you haven't built a foundation with the pillars of speed, which is nutrition, recovery, movement mastery, and the mental side, there's no amount of fancy drills that will save you. And even if you master those pillars, when you step onto the line, you can only control 4 things: posture, position, power, and patience. And that's what I call the core 4 of sprinting. And today I'm going to break this down and show you why sprinters plateau year after year and give you the blueprint to actually get faster. Hello, my name is Lawrence L. Johnson, a professional sprinter. This past season, I broke 10 seconds for the very first time, running a wind-aided 9:99. 6-time NCAA American as well, and every single athlete I trained on a one-to-one basis that made it past 6 months PR'd in at least one of their events. Let's dive into it. The sprinting plague. Lack of mission clarity. Most sprinters go into the season without a clear why. They train hard, they copy workouts from Instagram, or just follow whatever their coach writes without understanding the purpose. But speed doesn't respond to randomness, it responds to progression. And this is something that I learned from one of my greatest mentors. It's all about mission clarity in anything of life. So here's what you can do as an action step. Write down your mission for the season. Is it breaking 11 seconds? Is it qualifying for nationals? Is it shaving 2/10 off your 100-meter time? In every session, check if your workout connects, right, to that mission. If not, it's wasted energy. And that goes into programming as well. That leads into part 2, the race day problem. There's no plan for most athletes when they get under pressure. And on meet day, most sprinters walk up with nothing but nerves and vibes, right? No cues, no structure, just hope I run fast today. And that's like stepping into a heavyweight fight with no strategy. So here's what you can do instead. Before the race, script your plan. Example of this might be, I want to drive aggressively for 30 meters, rise tall, and relax my jaw and attack with patience. Because you need 1 or 2 simple cues to anchor yourself, but not a brain full of noise. And that leads into part 3. That brain full of noise can come from chasing more drills and exercises. And the plague also shows up in your training. Athletes who chase endless drills instead of mastering basics. It make you feel productive, right? Because you learned some new wickets, you got a new sled, and you got a new gadget. But the tools don't replace the fundamentals. And if you don't believe me, watch any video of Usain Bolt training. It almost looks too fundamental, if that's even possible. But this is where the pillars of speed come in. Nutrition. You need to fuel your training with carbs and protein, but don't undereat and expect power. Next, what is your recovery like? Sleep, hydration, and smart rest days matter more than that fancy compression boost. And then movement mastery. Every drill has to have one goal, teaching you mechanics you'll ultimately use at max velocity. And then this might be one of the most important as well, is the mental. Because the sprinter's mind must be calm under pressure and confident and consistent in the act of racing. So here's what you can do for an action step for this. Rate yourself 1 through 10 on each pillar today. And if you're under 7 on any of them, that's where you're losing races. It's not the lack of a new drill. And that leads into the core 4, what you can actually control in a race. So me, as a professional sprinter, I'll tell you the truth. Once the gun goes off, you don't control your training program, your gym lifts, your favorite recovery tool. A saying that we say in my training group is, in the off season, it's all about the grind. But when you're on the line, it's all about the mind. And that's focusing on the core 4. The first one is positions. Where is your body in space? The angles at the block start, the shins, the hips. And then that leads into the next part, posture. Am I staying tall, elastic, and not collapsing? And that leads into the third, which is power. Am I applying force into the ground every single step? Am I truly pushing the entire race? And then this is the next kicker, being patient, right? Because you don't want to rush the phases, because acceleration, transition, and max velocity, They all take time. And here's something that my mentor taught me that completely changed the way I even look at the phases of a 100-meter dash. Your max velocity is a result of your acceleration. That they say is just a great top-end athlete. The argument that you should really be thinking about is how does that athlete get to higher max velocity speeds? Because the person who actually has the highest maximum velocity is the person who accelerated with enough power and enough force in the correct positions with enough patience that they were able to raise. That max velocity isn't directly correlated with their acceleration in that instance. So in practice, pick one of the core four per rep. An example, this first rep, you might want to be, I want to have tall posture on one rep. The next rep might be patience in the drive on another. And then layer them over time until they're automatic. Because when you watch Usain Bolt's 9:58, it just looks like one complete expression of run. It doesn't look like drive phase, transition, max velocity, hold. You can't even tell. It just looks like one complete expression. And that's why even pros struggle with this. So I'll be real. Even with an elite coach and years of experience I have as myself, I still battle with this plague. Every season is like putting together the same puzzle, but the pieces have kind of shifted. Injuries this year, new competition, changes in my strength. It really never stops, just like rust. But that's what makes the game beautiful, right? Because sprinting demands mastery of the basics again and again, because the basics are the fundamentals. In every season, the athlete who wins aren't the ones with the most drills. They're the ones who stayed focused on the pillars of speed and executed the core four under pressure. So here's your sprinting checklist. Before your next season, ask yourself, do I have mission clarity? Do I have a race plan to execute under pressure? Am I building my foundation with the pillars of speed? And am I practicing the core four cues until they're automatic? And if you can't answer yes to those, you're gambling your season. And this is what my challenge is for you. Most sprinters plague themselves chasing the new and the shiny and the complicated. But sprinting is built by mastering the simple over and over. And that's why you might see one athlete break out one year and not even be a factor the year after that. Because the core four and the pillars of speed is what you can control. Everything else is a distraction. So stop chasing hacks and start mastering the basics. And when the lights are the brightest, you will finally run the times that you've been chasing. So now you have two options. You can go click on the next video and be like the 99% of athletes who are still chasing something without mastering what's already inside of them. Or you can be like the 1%. And if you want to get greater detail on the core four of sprinting and these pillars of speed, you can join my free community of all sprinters working together for free in the description of this video. I'll see you in the next one.